What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. We want to do a quick video and break down the fight tonight between Chris Colbert from Brooklyn, New York, aka Crooklyn, New York, taking on King Tug from Mongolia. Now, I'm not going to talk about what transpired this past week, man, which is going to have a lot of people interested in this fight that probably wouldn't have been interested otherwise. You know, he's made some controversial statements in many people's opinions in regards to former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and unified welterweight champion Errol the True Spence. Ironically, both of those guys are the top fighters under the PBC. If you had the picking order of the top guys, the top money makers, the top earners, the people that makes the boxers that make the PBC the most money over their career, number one on that list would be Deontay Wilder. Number two on that list would be Errol Spence Jr. And those are the two guys that Chris Colbert made controversial statements about. Is it jealousy or is it truth-telling? And I did a video about that, and you guys got in the comment section. You guys let me know your feelings on that issue. But we're going to talk about the fight tonight, man. This fight's going to boil down to hand speed. And that's going to be the problem for King Tug, man. He's not going to be able to deal with the hand speed of Chris Colbert. He reminds me of Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker. When you watch his style, he fights similar to Sweet Pea. Now, his defense is not as good as Sweet Pea because he's more offensive minded. He's more vicious. He's more of an attack dog. You know, Sweet Pea Whitaker was more of a guy that was a defensive fighter that would make you look stupid trying to hit him. You know, he was a guy that'd be right in front of you and you couldn't touch him. And he could touch you, man. He was one of those type of fighters, man. But still, Chris Colbert still reminds me of him, his style, man, especially on the offensive side of the equation. Now, defensively, of course, Pernell Whitaker is on another level. I think Chris Colbert is a good defensive fighter at times when he chooses to be. If he goes in this fight and boxes, he can box circles around Chris Colbert. But he's got that Terrence Crawford mindset, man. He wants to bang it out and he wants to put on the show, and he's willing to be real aggressive and possibly take some punches to get off his offensive arsenal. And that's a crowd pleasing type of style that people like to, you know, to watch fighters fight, including Terrence Crawford, man. You know, Terrence Crawford could get in there and box and use his legs and win easy unanimous decision, but he chooses to go in there and try to stop his opponent. That's why he's on a 6-fight knockout streak. And I think Chris Colbert is going to go on that type of streak too, man. He stopped his last opponent, and I think he will stop King Tug in the second half of this fight, man. Again, King Tug is a guy that's a very solid fighter. This is a better matchup than Yildiz Gamboa, who's seen his better days. He has more of a name than Nan Yambar, but Nan Yambar is a better fighter. And quiet as kept, man, Nan Yambar has been in there with better competition than Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert fought some good fighters too. He fought Corrales. The last guy he fought was Albardella, was a good fighter, but man, King Tug, he's been in there with some good guys. Marrero, who's a real good boxer. He's fought, of course, Gary Russell Jr., aka Mr. Gary Russell. He's fought, who else he fought? He fought some nice guys. Escadion, the Spanish short guy. He's a guy that's a very heavy-handed. He stopped him, and I think it was the third round, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been in there with some solid names. So this is going to be Chris Colbert probably best opponent to date. I think he's better than the last guy Chris Colbert fight, and I think he's better than Corrales, the guy that Colbert won. I think Colbert won 12 rounds with him. He won on the unanimous decision. He was kind of awkward though, Corrales. I think he dropped him, but the referee didn't count. They said it was more of a slip. But he was a guy that was hard to look good against in Corrales. But give Chris Colbert credit for getting the W, and that's what it's all about, getting the W and moving on. So I think the difference is going to be hand speed. And what I know about Nanya, but he tends to you know, he tends to drop his right hand at times, so he's gonna be susceptible to left hooks. And one thing about Chris Colbert, he's a very good left hooker. He lands a left hook, man. He do everything in the ring. He ain't got no weakness. He can punch with both hands, got a good jab. He doubles up on his jab to set up the right hand. He's very accurate with the right hand. He does a good job of jabbing to the body, and he does a good job of throwing hooks to the body. Left hooks to the up top too, to the body and to the head, man. The guy's just a complete fighter. He's an offensive machine. He's a guy that throws a lot of punches per round. And he's a guy that's looking to get you out of there. He's a seek and destroy type of guy, which he don't need to be. He can, like I said, he can get out there and box. His defensive skill is second to none when he wants to be, but he's a guy that's an offensive-minded fighter. So when you're that way, you're going to take some punches. You're going to get hit with some shots, and that's what tends to happen in his fight. So it should be a very interesting matchup, and we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Everybody want to call me when I'm doing a video, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to watch the fight, man. I'm trying to do my thing and check the fight out, man. Everybody want to call you now. Ain't that crazy? It is what it is. But I got Chris Colbert stopping Nanya Bar in the 9th round. Stops in the 9th round to retain his WBA interim super featherweight title. And hopefully he'll move up and get a big name in his next fight. We'll see, man. He's got the type of style, man, and he hasn't put up the type of numbers as far as he hasn't shown to be that draw in boxing. So the risk reward is not there with him because he's a high level fighter, a tough fight, but then he's not a guy that you're gonna make a career high payday at fighting him. You know, you're gonna be taking a chance fighting him. So that's why you don't see some people like the top fighters in the super featherweight division or in the lightweight division calling his name. So we will see what happens. We'll see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts about this particular matchup, who you like between King Tug and Chris Colbert. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you like the content of this video, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.